Hello, and welcome to this quick overview of the NetApp AltaVault appliance, the market-leading cloud integrated storage solution for protecting data in the public and private cloud. In this video, we'll show you that setting up an AltaVault appliance with Google Nearline Cloud Storage is an easy three-step process. The first step of deploying an AltaVault appliance is getting connected to a cloud provider. AltaVault works with a large selection of public and private cloud providers and encompasses over 90% of the cloud provider market. Google is a leading hyperscaler public cloud provider and will be using Nearline Object Storage for this demonstration. After logging into the appliance, we will use the Cloud Settings Setup Wizard to connect to Google. From the drop-down list of cloud providers, you'll select Google, identify Nearline as the storage class, and provide the project ID, client ID, and private key. These fields and private key can be provided by taking the JSON key provided from Google and using the script Google JSON to PEM version2.py to generate the needed information. Refer to the support article here for access to the script. Next, set an encryption key, and finally, apply the settings to perform the connection. AltaVault will validate the connection with Google, and once done, become ready for use. Second, we'll need to expose an SMB or NFS interface to the backup infrastructure. We'll use SMB in this example. From the user interface, we'll go to the SMB configuration page to add a share. If you are in a Windows environment, it is suggested you associate AltaVault with your Active Directory domain so you can configure the share security with AD users and groups. To create a share, specify the share name and path where the data will be written. If you want, you can deselect the Allow Everyone Access checkbox to restrict access to those that you will allow, and then click Add Share. You can then configure SMB access using local AltaVault accounts or using Windows Active Directory users and groups. At this point, AltaVault is now ready to begin accepting backups. The third step is configuring the backup application to drive data to AltaVault. The configuration of the backup application consists of adding a device that points to AltaVault. For example, NetApp uses storage units, which we'll set as shown here. As you can see, AltaVault is identified by its SMB share within this device. With the setup complete, all that remains is to perform the backup. To finish this step, we'll modify the backup policy to point to this device, and then perform a test backup to show operations. Now that the backup is running, let's switch back over to the AltaVault console and look at the graphs of the operation. The first graph is the storage optimization graph. We can see here that we're receiving data, deduplicating it, and encrypting it inline. The full dataset received and reduced dataset that is actually stored are visualized by the blue and red lines respectively. The green line at bottom represents the deduplication ratio achieved. Now let's take a look at the front-end throughput graph. The front-end throughput graph shows that we're receiving the backups as expected. Next, let's check the back-end throughput graph. The back-end throughput graph shows that we're sending significantly less data to the public cloud provider. Next, the replication pending graph shows the pending data that AltaVault needs to send to the cloud, depending on your connection speed. Finally, a look at the cloud operations graph shows the number of REST API operations communicated with the cloud storage provider to get the data across to the cloud. Switching to the Google Developers Console, we can see that our data has been added to the Google Cloud Storage. This backup data is stored and deduplicated in encrypted form and is now available for recovery, either through the original AltaVault appliance or an AltaVault appliance located at a DR site. With that, this concludes this quick demo on using AltaVault. For more information, visit our page at www.netapp.com/AltaVault.